the Republicans, as they are wont to do, have absolutely uh, 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 pooch screwed their entire case against Joe Biden. Right when the impeachment launches, the impeachment inquiry launches, which is like, can we look and see if we can fucking find something? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, you notice how the Democrats never had an impeachment inquiry? They had a whistleblower and they had actual evidence, and then they went forward with an impeachment based on that. These guys are like, can we at least look for something against this thing? Motherfucker. So they started their impeachment inquiry, and a lot of just jumping through their shirts and very excited about this. And I think mainly as a sales pitch. I don't think any of them really think this is a win, but they like the idea that they finally can, okay, it says impeachment something. We're doing the thing, sort of. Okay, like that's their response. Meanwhile, totally eclipsed, by the way, by Lauren Boebert and MTG getting in a fight initially over who came up with the idea of impeaching first, and Boebert getting her bobes honked during a musical with children present while she copped the crotch of her date, who she now has dumped because, quote, he's a Democrat, who she's like, it was just our first date anyways. I'm like, hang on. You let your first dates cop a feel and grab your crotch? Of course you do. Of course, I don't even know what I was thinking. Yeah, he honked her titties in this show. Like, he's full on thumbing it. He's doing the whole full on like, yeah, it was a first date. Here's the thing. I have often said, only a man of low self-esteem believes that a woman is a slut or of low quality for sleeping with him on the first date. Because you'd have to think you're a piece of shit to castigate her for sleeping with you right away. Right? If you think you're a piece of shit and she sleeps with you right away, you're like, she'll sleep with any piece of shit that comes along. However, if you have an enormously powerful self-confidence like I do, that's a sign of taste and breeding on her part. I would never think she's a slut. I think she's just got great taste. Right? That's my own personal thing. So I don't tend to fall into the slut shaming spectrum in terms of my own interactions with women. I'd like to think that I was either very convincing or they had their own agenda, which I was just happy to be a part of. Right? But there's a big difference between, kicking somebody to the curb after the first date because you were busted grabbing their crotch in public. Like, sleeping with somebody right away is one thing, but I mean, can we have a lady and gentleman in the streets before we have the I don't know, was it Nurse Diesel and Frau Bruche in the sheets? Yeah, look. After the first time, I'll give you a little bit of a break. Let's say first date, you guys hit it off. It's just electric, and you're just like, I'm up on this, and both of you are just like, as the Chinese say, chow fun, which is of course a way of frying food. Chow fun. That's their way of making out, because it's like a wok full of noodles. Just that's how they. That's their slang. I'm not kidding. That's a slang term in Chinese for making out. Chow fan. And which is also your fingers in it. It's a whole thing. Anyways, I think it's hilarious. So you're all up in each other's grill. That's fine. And then the next day, you're like, God damn, that was something else. Woo! I can't. I'm having flashbacks all afternoon. Like, I don't even want to wash the shirt, much less the shorts. It's exciting. And the next time you see them, they're coming out of their office or their domicile or their car or their the bar or whatever, and you're just like, I can't. And you kind of like scoop them behind a wall, and you're both all up in each other's grill again because it was really nice. Cool. I'm cool with that. All right, I get it. I've had that impulse, and as long as both of you are into it, you're done. That's all right. If somebody walks up, and goes, okay, get a room. That's what that's for. However, if you have never, and granted, just because it was the first date, just because they were at the musical, doesn't mean they fucked before they went out. So she could have just gone, how about we just tap this before we leave, see if it's even worth sitting through the musical. Maybe possible. Maybe. Sure. Whatever. But I've never had a situation like that. Come on. So it's a possibility, but I don't think that's what happened. But anyways, before that even starts, you're just like, onk, 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 and he's like, and you're like, bork, 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 and there's fucking there's people all around you, you cretins. I mean, it just reeks of like uptight, conservative bullshit. You know what I mean? The old tap and go. All right. So yeah, that's fine. Sometimes you gotta, I'm not gonna be able to focus. I want to be able to eat the meal. Sure. Again, if both of you are up for it, off you go. Maybe that's why she was vaping, perhaps? That's possible. It's possible. She's like, oh my fucking God. It didn't take much. It was just a titty honk, and she was like, that's enough, I'm done. So, either way, she's awful. But at the same time, she threw cold water, that whole thing, just threw cold water all over the Republicans. Like, we finally got the Hunter Biden. We got the Hunter Biden inquiry, right? They were so excited about their impeachment inquiry, and then she gets her titties honked in Beetlejuice the musical, and everybody's like, fuck, way to bury the lead in your vajayjay, right? Like, you wouldn't be tucking anyone's yum, would you? Tucking anyone's yum? I don't know. That's a different thing. I would never tuck someone's yum. I don't even know if that's possible. You mean yucking somebody's yum? I am not. Except at the expense of other people's yuck. There is a thing about your yum is not to be inflicted on other people. Close your fucking drapes. Or move to the goddamn woods. Oh, people, get out of here. Just stop it. I think Boebert's got that guy running against her in congressional. Honestly, I think he should just say his entire campaign should just be get a room. You can yum in public to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Don't do any up under the carriage. You can do a little bit of the slight patting. You can do a little bit of pulling somebody close, even some making out. I don't really have a problem with that. If you're at a party and people are making out, I don't care either. But did you guys see who in here saw the video? I'm not gonna play it on here because ironically enough, YouTube would shut me down for playing the video. That's all over YouTube. I don't know how this shit. Yeah, YouTube demonetized Russell Brand. We'll get to him in a minute. Did you see it? Anybody see it? How can I describe what happened without a water balloon present? He literally he's got a whole grip on the titty, and he's doing the thumb push fold like that. He's doing the big near twist thing. Yeah, am I right? Am I right with the onk? It's almost a which part is real, which part chicken breast moment, but it's, yeah. And then she goes, a blue, blue, blue. Your tax dollars pay for those fake boobs? I don't think so. I think she had those early. She didn't get those recently. I think she's had those for a while, right? If they're fake at all. I don't even know that that's the fact, but yeah. So anyways, yeah, so don't grope each other in public. Yeah, just in general. Also, don't grope anyone that you have not had a previous sexual interaction with ever unless they explicitly asked for it. Like you've been on a date, or you've actually had, and you kind of have a thing, and you understand. It's the butter churning. She was butter churning. She was just chorp, chorp, chorp. Good Lord. Yeah. You use two hands. How he did. I can't. I had a. My body will reject the idea.